Aha! Welcome everyone! Welcome to Drakenmemoria. So, for those of you wondering what this is, what Drakenmemoria is, well, it's Dungeons and Dragons, or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. And as you might have noticed, we're a few minutes late because we're having a technical problem with one player. As you can see, there is a image of audience. He's there. He's just having a whole lot of problem with his camera. So don't worry. And I have a laggy computer also, apparently. Alright. Now I have his sheet right beside mine. So we can roll for him if he needs to roll. And yes, as you can see, there is another someone here who has elected to remain anonymous until his character actually joins with the party. So this is why you're seeing apparently two people missing, but not actually missing. None of them are missing. So as I've said, for those of you who didn't know who we are, well, we're going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons. If you don't like this, if you don't want this, I will draw your attention to either the left or the right side of wherever you're watching this. There are some options there that you can look for something else. For everyone else who's there because they want to, because they like Dungeons and Dragons, because they like us, making fun of us, writing weird things in the chat. No? Okay. It's a pleasure to have you with us. So I hope you are... see? We got one weird person saying something. Yay! It's a member of the group, but still. Come on, people! Answer him weird stuff. Appropriate stuff. Stuff that can be said on a chat. But still, you can answer anything weird. Alright.
Wait.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, good thing I took time to do this, because otherwise we would have had a player whose microphone would have been really, really weird. Nice. Alright. Here we go. Alright. As I was saying, alright, yeah, if you want to be here, if you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And we hope you're going to enjoy tonight's game. Well, I think that's about everything. As always, I want to thank you for Chaotic Calling, who's going to most likely be raiding us in something like 20 to 30 minutes. Or if you're from another place, well, it's a pleasure to have you with us. If you want to convince your friends from wherever you're from to raid us, so far I haven't had a bad raid, so try not to break this streak of luckiness. Anyway, but if you're good people, you're welcome to raid. Yeah, that's about it. And always, the sound you're hearing in your microphone, in your headphones, the little rain, is brought to you by a little website where you can actually make. I know I've been struggling with a few words. It's been horribly hot here, and my mouth is continuously dry. So it's a place where you can make ambiance music like this, ambiance sound. It's royalty free, but you have to pay when you want to download them. Yeah, that's it. So, without further delay, I think we're good to start tonight's stream. Alright, so, last episode. Oh, the party decided to go and rescue their good friend Jorg, who had been kidnapped at the end of the episode before that, because he was going to be missing for an episode. So his character got kidnapped, and we had nice little side quests where everyone entered the city, did their best not to get pulverized and destroyed. Well, there's a lot of adjectives you can use for this, but by this weird person that everyone is referring to as the Brute, who appears to be a bit sadistic, and they have managed to make their way into the city, killed a few guards very quietly and quickly, and made their way inside of the portion of the dwarven city that they have been excavating to create a new city for humans and a few dwarves, establishing a new life in these mountain range. So they entered, and they were able to find their way, find where Jorg was being held. They entered, they killed the guards quickly and quietly. Remy had his first one-shot kill as a rogue. Surprise, using sneak attack on an enemy. And finally, as this quick combat came to an end, we had Audience, who decided to enter the room, use his mace as light, and then he looked at everyone and, Audience, would you like to repeat the last thing you said before the stream ended?
Your heroes have arrived.
To which someone inside of the cell answers,
Well, can you guys hear me?
yeah.
Yep.
Audience, is that you? I never thought I'd see you here, Dragon Boy.
Audience, you are the only one who recognized this. Oh goodness, your camera is horrible.
It is,
I'm
yeah.
no, not you, but the camera that's on the overlay. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to that. So, audience, you are the only one who recognized Tobiyashi's voice.
This abomination.
I will do my best to try and... Oh.
Audience
This is just a line.
Yeah.
nod, and they go, Tobiyashi, is that really you, my friend?
Yeah, I've been here for I don't even know how long. How'd you even find me?
Well, I had no even idea you were here. We were coming to rescue our other companion, our new companion. I'll point to Jorg. Jorg, who have you not met, was taken recently, and I'm so glad to see that you're here. I've been so worried about you for so long and been trying to find a way to rescue you.
I kind of like start walking towards the exit. I'm like, I need to get out of here and grab my stuff. So they took Trevor somewhere. I don't know what happened.
Very well, of course. We can find your. Are you okay? Do you need any food, water, anything?
Yeah, some food would be nice. Maybe some rest or something.
Well, I don't know if we can rest yet, but there is a monastery about a half day's walk, which we're actually trying to get back to as quickly as possible because the wolves they come out in the shadows as it gets dark, and we're trying to make it back before they come out. But I have some rations here, and we have some water, and I'll pull out some rations and water skin and like hand it over.
Okay, I grab them and I'm just gonna start eating them, and then I'm gonna begin looking for the guy who last had my stuff, or at least his dead body if they killed everybody.
Well, immediately you look outside of the cell. So for reference, Tobiyashi looks absolutely beaten down. He looks like he has been through hell and back, and then again there and back. He even looks tired, exhausted. He probably has a few new scars. All of his clothes are tattered, broken up. Probably looks a little older than he was before, just out of the sheer hell that he's been through. So he really, really looks bad. Jorg, you don't know where he was. All you know that when you were brought to the cell, he was already there. He looked just like someone else that had been taken prisoner and that was going to be, you don't know what exactly, but whatever they're using all these prisoners for. You thought he was just one of those prisoners. You had no idea he was actually known by someone of the group. So as soon as you get out, Tobiyashi, and you look outside to find the guards, both of them are dead, but they don't have any equipment on them. So for now, Tobiyashi and Jorg, you don't have anything that was in your backpack. And Tobiyashi, of course, you don't have any weapons right now. You do know that it's probably not far, because when you were brought there, they stripped you down of all your weapons. They left the room, but they came back after just 1 or 2 minutes. So it's either they handed it over to someone and it's really far somewhere else, or it's really close by.
Okay. I start to eat as much as I can. I'm just like engulfing it at this point. Just swallowing it.
Randy immediately starts looking for a bucket.
How many other people are in this room?
With Jorg and Tobiyashi and the dwarf that was taken from the caravan, there are 17 other villager inside the cell.
Damn. I can't even make enough good berries. Eat my mistletoe anyways.
I just go, whose kid snuck out a little bit ago?
You hear a man in a corner. Is my son all right? And then you hear a woman in another corner say, "Are my children managed to make it at the monastery?" You get another man, a small dwarf, said, "Are you saying that my son actually survived?" And then there's a lonely gnome in the place. "My kids. Are my kids all right?"
That was a loaded question.
Yeah, I don't. We found a child who said they escaped from this cell and is okay and currently hiding for us to come back out.
You hear?
There are
was
a
it
lot
a
of
human?
kids at the monastery.
You hear? Was it what is a human? Was it a dwarf? Was it a gnome?
Randy gives a deep sigh as he minor illusions the boy, specifically holding a dagger out.
You hear a woman in a corner just say, "It's mine. He's alive. He's alive." And she looks at you pleadingly, as if nothing you've said before actually came through. She just sort of realized right now that her son might be alive.
Yeah. Yes, that kid is alive. He's hiding in a house not far from here. We can swing by and pick him up when we leave.
We decided to split to give a better chance for our children to make it to safety. My husband took our daughter and I took our son, but unfortunately they captured us. I don't know what happened also to my husband, and And our daughter, do you know what happened to them?
No. But we are going to take everybody back to the monastery, and you may find people there. I don't know. We didn't spend a lot of time there. I didn't learn any names, really. So until we get there, you guys just got to do what we say and stay quiet.
I'm so glad we don't have to see that brute anymore. He was a
And I
dick.
look to audience, and I'm like, how is that? How is that?
That was good.
Okay.
Audience is gonna quickly. He's gonna turn to Fisher and be like, "All right, let's start getting everyone on their feet, ready to move. The sooner we leave, the quicker. We're gonna be probably a little slower on our way back, and we did everything pretty efficiently, so we still have probably a little more than half a day left. But we gotta move quickly if we're gonna get back to the monastery before it gets dark." I'll turn.
I know
What do you-
Toby is yarfing down a bunch of food. How does everybody else look, food-wise?
Everyone looks pretty much the same. Some of them look in a better shape, as if they'd been captured only 5 or 6 days ago at most. But some of them look like they've been here for an entire week, and they've barely been fed or given water. Some of them look like they can barely stand. But the hope of someone saying that people survived and this bright light coming from a mace that this paladin is holding sort of gives them a little bit of warmth inside.
And also maybe a small headache.
I'm also going to turn to Rami and I'm going to be like, Rami, can you go see if you can find stuff while we get everyone together? Should be in one of the nearby rooms, hopefully.
Raimi will give a Talon thumbs up and start looking about in the, I guess, in the other direction, because I'm assuming they're kind of like in a dead end area.
Yeah, it's inside of a house. So Tobiyashi, the last time you saw this group, there was audience that was a dragonborn, and then you remember seeing Valtteri, who was a tiefling, druid. Now that you know that Jorg is part of the group, well, either Valtteri went through a really rough sex and race change, but it's a druid. There is
Reincarnates a bitch.
There is. This is not something you know that they exist, and you know that some of them actually have self-awareness, but there is an arcane being. Fisher is an arcane being. He looks like a machine, but he certainly acts differently. He's not taking any direct orders. He speaks on his own. He does his own thing. You've so far only seen those who do not have a mind of their own, who really are just like machines, answering things, doing things. So, at the same time, it's a bit odd. You've never seen up close them, this race of being. You might have seen them when you were in Sutian for a few moments, helping carry stuff, but that's about it. But now you see one who can actually do stuff by itself. And Remy, who is the small one, who made the image of the child, it's a Kenku. It's basically a 5-foot tall raven. So the group has changed a lot.
All right. I'm going to, after I get it from eating, I wipe off my face. I'm gonna walk up to audience and be like, so what happened to the druid? I forgot her name.
Felt
What? No. I knew what the name was. I was just saying like in character. Yeah. What happened? What happened to her? Did you turn into that? And I'll point over to the construction. I'm like, it's kind of different than what I thought she would turn into. What? So
I don't know. She got tired of she got a little bit traumatized by adventuring, so she decided to. I guess you never made it to the garden, but we made it to the garden, and she's hanging out there in this like giant woodsy area they have there. It's hard to kind of explain unless you can see it. You'll hopefully
Okay.
you'll see it once you return.
All right. Well, we should hurry up and get out of this place. The faster we go, the faster I don't got to deal with this anymore. And I kind of look a little worried around the corner that's like around us. I'm just like looking down like the hallways and stuff like that, kind of sketched out.
When you arrive
Not
near
how
the
it used to
door,
be.
you also see something you don't remember seeing in this group. But you certainly remember hearing about this. It was just never used while you were there. There's a 5-foot tree acting as lookout in the room.
A tree?
Yeah, a 5-foot tree acting as a lookout at the door.
I'm guessing is it one of the tree's kids from way before? Okay. I quickly go back and I'm gonna start looking for my stuff. I guess he sent him to go look for it, and yeah, just searching around, trying to get everyone prepared to. I guess we're gonna leave.
All right.
I'll help Jorg up off the ground. And those people look like, even, I mean, we've got a good solid half-day trip from here on foot. They don't look like they're going anywhere fast. Do you need your focus for good berries?
I need a sprig of mistletoe from my pouch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's
On
on my
that.
staff.
Oranek, can you do
Oh.
good berries?
Yeah.
These people are going to need some food before they're able to go anywhere.
Oh, okay. I don't have a lot, but they can certainly. And he starts picking berries from inside of his hair, the branches. And just, oh. When he turns around and he starts to talk, Tobiyashi, since you've never seen him, I'm going to describe him a little bit more for you. So most of his body looks pretty humanoid in nature. His torso looks like the trunk, branches for the arms, wrapped up so that they can actually make fingers. His feet, although all the way to his toes, look pretty similar to legs, except that they have a very, very bark-like texture. His feet, however, feel a bit like roots that have been twisted in the shape of feet. And even when you look at his toes, it sort of feels like the end of roots. As for his face itself is very triangular and very reminiscent of the face of the tree elemental that you saw. So triangular in shape. His eyes are very almond shaped, completely black. And the face is a bit lower. You'd say that the face is maybe at 4 foot tall, and the rest are branches that go up maybe a feet. So maybe he's actually just 4 feet tall, but his branches make him look like 5 feet. And he's just picking berries like this. He gives the same reaction as if he was pulling hair. Just... I don't suppose anyone can eat something harder than berries. I have a walnut. He looks at everyone. Right, no walnut. Okay.
Please tell me they're called good nuts. Please tell me they're called good nuts. Please tell me they're called good nuts.
Well, that's up to you, really. You're gonna have to eat one.
Give out options too, by the way, to a couple others who aren't getting good berries.
Okay, I didn't get.
As I'm looking around, I just keep looking at the construction and the King Coon because I don't really see them a lot. So I'm just kind of while I'm looking around, scanning the area, I'm kind of looking at them too. Kind of they'll find me eyeballing them a little bit, looking at them for a long time, and then I'll just look away if they look at me and stuff like that.
Okay. Remy, you said you went out to see if you could find the equipment.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have you make a. Well, that would be more an investigation. I'm not gonna have enough water next to me.
You see, what you need is one of those drinking cups.
Yeah. I'm just using a
Right.
repurposed bottle of something.
Right, so 24 for investigation.
24. Okay. Doesn't take very long. So you leave quietly. You don't see anyone coming. You're confident that you kill the guards fast enough to not draw a lot of attention. However, Tobiyashi, you know why you were actually there. So you know that they're probably going to be back fairly soon. But Remy, you leave. You go in the building in front. Look for things. You go just next to the building where you are. You go a little bit further, and then you finally find a barrel of what looks like just discarded object. It's hidden behind the building where you were. It only, with a 24 investigation, it only takes you maybe between 5 and 10 minutes to find it. So you actually find this, and there's a lot of things. First thing you can notice is that there are more things in there, that there probably are prisoners. So there were a lot more people at one point.
That's uncomfortable. Anyway.
Oh yeah, and Tobiyashi, because you have such a high passive perception, you would notice that the tree looking as a lookout in the building you are looks a whole lot like the dead tree that's inside of the cell that just came tumbling down with Jorg and a dwarf. Mm-hmm. They really look a lot alike.
Two alike.
Two alike, yeah.
So after, like I said, maybe 8 or 10 minutes, Remy eventually comes back, dragging a barrel with him.
Yeah, emphasis on drag because I'm confident that he couldn't lift it.
Mm-hmm.
Just yeah. Just putting those little bird arms to work, and then just once he's in front of the doorway, just maybe even looks over to audience and Fisher pleading.
Help?
Well, I'll walk over and pick it up and move it and just kind of plop it in the middle of the room. I'll dump everything out onto the floor in the middle of the cell.
Audience, I can open my portal too for any extra stuff we want to chuck in there.
Okay. So you open your
Okay.
dimensional storage space. Tobiashi, you've never seen this before. It seemed to be something new that audience has learned to do. He takes a little gem out, and then he just picks a point in the air, as if there was nothing there, and he pulls down. And simply there's a crack that forms in reality, as if he was just pulling down a zipper in midair. And then suddenly you can see behind there is a room. Not a big room, but still a room. And there's already objects in there. There's a few weapons, things you'd find in backpack. There's 2 odd blue bricks at the end of it.
Okay, I kind of look in interest, and I'm just looking around. So he dropped what fell on the ground? Do I see anything familiar?
Yeah, no, actually, it just takes a few moments, and a lot of people actually go for weapons they can find, but you, after maybe a minute or two, just with your passive investigation, would easily find your own equipment.
Okay, alrighty. I'm gonna pick it up and I put it on the little equipment that I have left, and I get ready to go. I'm gonna go to audience. Wow, you've got a lot of stuff since the last time I've seen you. So, what exactly have you been doing since I've been held captive?
Quite a lot. As I told you, we're able to make it. Me and Valtteri were able to make it to the garden, where then as you can see, I met a lot of new adventurers, both adventurers that are now in my party as well as others. We went on a bunch of kind of missions around the area, helping out people, doing other things where I kind of gained a lot of this stuff, and then we heard about kind of this area and that it was being scouted out where the hunter cult, it seems like at least one of their main bases are. And so honestly, now the adventurers, I'd say at least half of the adventurers, if not more, of the garden are out right now basically exploring it and trying to stop the hunter cult.
Okay. Okay, well, that sounds good. Do you have any idea to get us out of here fast? Because the people aren't going to be gone long.
Well, we killed the guards and we killed some thieves earlier, but I mean, with 20 people, it's not going to be. We're not going to be able to be as stealthy or quick. So we're going to have to probably hope at least till we can get out of the city. Once we're out of the city, we should be good. We should be able to make it up to the monastery fairly easily as long as we can get there before dark. But getting out of the city, we might have to fight a few people along the way. Not gonna lie.
I don't know if I'm saying this right, but hopefully we could get out of here soon. I've had enough of seeing that woman.
All right. Well, I'll try. I'll kind of go back to Fisher and be like, Toby says that we may not have long till people return. We should try and get out of here as quick as possible.
Yeah, good idea. How are people doing with getting their stuff back?
Most of them seems to be more worried about finding their equipment to help them defend themselves, even though they aren't extremely in good shape to fight. Some of them seems to be picking object which wouldn't be very useful, but then again, you're not sure if they're picking object which were taken from them or if they're actually looting. But most people seem to be just worried about finding something that they can hit someone with.
I mean, they're probably sitting in a pile on the shelf if they are there. Raimi found just a bunch of like short swords and daggers on those thieves that were already dead that we ran into, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Randy also just kind of like opens up his coat to reveal
So-
many daggers.
Yeah, anybody that's like wielding like just like a stick or like a kitchen ladle or something that they think is going to be helpful, I'm going to start handing out just like short swords.
You see someone that was trying to pull the barrel apart, and just suddenly when you say this, you just push the barrel over and go take a sword.
And I'll try and like organize them. Like, how many know how to swing a sword?
Most people know how to swing a sword. They're just not level 1 swinging swords.
Yeah. If possible, I'd like to kind of try and organize everybody into basically like a column formation with those who are more confident with their fighting ability on the edge
Okay.
and those who can't or have never held one in their life before in the middle.
I'll tell you guys right now that as Raimi is just like opening his coat more, like his his little sash of daggers is in total to about 10, and he has like 5 short swords hanging inside of his jacket.
So
And just
I look
kind of like
over.
gives
I look over and I'm
what
like,
you're looking for.
how are you still so quiet with all that stuff? Like, that's gotta make the same amount of noise I make when I'm walking around.
All this stuff is surprisingly light. Compared to the other stuff I was holding on to before I threw it all in the dimensional storage.
Yeah.
well, he had a weird walk when he was carrying that. So yeah, well, it doesn't take long before everyone takes a short sword from your jacket, daggers. Someone even tries to take a dart.
Oh yeah, he's also got plenty of darts.
And whomever doesn't have something just goes inside the dimensional space and take a sword there. You see someone when everyone is equipped, you see one that's just waiting like this inside of the dimensional space, and they sort of are reaching out toward the blue bricks.
There is suddenly an illusory stop sign that appears right in front of those bricks.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think this wasn't. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Big anime sweat drop coming from Raimi's head.
Hard to tell you, I should be like, those blue bricks you see right there, they're actually bombs.
Oh, thank you. Wait, what's a bomb?
It I you know what, I didn't know either really, but Fisher threw one and it wiped out about 40 orcs in one go with this loud sound and fire. So
I'm not going to be touching that. I then go like I'm gonna go walk into the corner. I kind of like. Is there anywhere where I could like walk where it's like a wall and then them like behind, like I'm behind a wall basically?
So once you go outside, this place is sort of a very ancient dwarven city. It was abandoned at one point, but now they're excavating it using magic mostly to just take the building out and giving a place for humans to live. So it's mostly hallways, which are maybe sometimes they're 20 feet wide, sometimes just 15 feet wide for the main alley. The smaller alleys can be as small as 5 feet, and it's about between 15 and 20 feet high. You haven't seen anything else although you know that it's multi-leveled, as you were taking down several stairs when you were brought here. So it's basically a 3D labyrinth.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna try to, without anybody noticing, I'm just gonna check on my chain. I'm gonna wrap it up onto my the silk that's on my hand, and so that it's perfectly on. So like I'm equipping it now, and
Okay.
I'm just gonna check on it, make sure that it's okay, not making any noise or anything.
Okay. You trying to check on the ball of your
Yeah,
whip stealthily?
yeah, stealthily. So I'll kind of whisper it a little bit. I'll be like, "Hey, you good?" And that's all I'll say.
All right. Make a stealth roll. See how quiet you are while you're trying to.
I rolled a natural 1. So that's a 7.
So you think you're trying to be very stealthy, but you take the ball out and you turn around so that no one sees you doing this. But as you do this, you just bump in head first in Fisher's chest. So when the ball hits him, you hear a loud "Kung!"
Excuse you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna go now, and I kind of walk off to the side, like still looking at my thing.
He looks so confused that it's easy to see that he is paying special attention to this piece of what looks like the end of a flail. It's just the ball end with a few links of chains, and that's it. And he wrapped silk that's apparently attached to his forearm to the end of these links. But he is paying very close attention to this ball part. And he's even whispering to it. You all have a passive perception high enough to notice that even audience has a passive perception that's
Hello?
high enough.
Why did I roll the first roll? Oh no. I'm just tired, that's all. It's fine.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that doesn't bode well. Okay, the rest of you that aren't insane, I'll try and like talk them through. Like basically, we're gonna try and go fast and quiet, or as fast as you guys can go. But basically, attempt to stay as a group as much as possible. And if we do run into something that we have to fight, let us do the fighting, unless you're confident enough in your abilities that you think you would be helpful instead of a hindrance.
okay. Tobiyashi, from you interact with the ball of your that's at the end of the chain, and you feel a little reverberation from inside of it, which you've come to interpret as anxiety.
Okay.
As
Okay. Keep going.
As for Fisher, when you finish saying that, there's a few confused people. They instinctively look at the organics of the group, like Jorg and audience, and they even pause at looking at Remy, but at least he looks made out of flesh, so there's even some that looks at Remy. And then eventually you hear, yeah, all right. And you see the dwarf that was taken from the caravan just go, all right, do as he says. He knows good with tactics. He's good with tactics. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. I'm sorry I don't remember your name, but thank you.
That's all right. I only remember yours because it's weird for a machine. So everyone, this is Fisher. Yeah, don't ask why. I don't know why. Probably because it has to do with fish. So everyone just... Those who feels very weak or that really don't know how to use whatever weapon they have in center. Those who feel strong enough and they actually have weapon on the outside. And the two that you should be looking at for combat advice is Fisher or Audience, the Dragonborn over there. And if you need healing, well, those that smells like tree, although obviously one always smells like trees. Don't worry, he's nice. You hear Onak
Feel
just
free
go,
to ask anybody above 6'7" for martial advice.
Maybe just dips his head down and just starts walking out of the building.
All right, so
It's like you're too short to ride this ride, baby.
And then, if it's clear outside, I guess I'll look to audience. We ready?
Yep. Let's head on out.
well, it looks
Where's
yeah.
your cat?
My cat would have been just in the area, probably outside the cell.
So
Okay.
probably roaming about and very close by.
My cat will probably come back, or I'll tell my cat to come back once we leave the cell.
All right.
Is there anybody that is in any way looks like they're definitely gonna slow us down?
Everyone in the
too
middle of the
old,
group.
tired. Crippled.
You did say those who can't fight, and the dwarf said those who are too weak to fight at the center of the group. Well, everyone at the center of the group looks like they're gonna slow the progress.
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
like somebody that like can't walk or
Um,
is like hobbling around, not necessarily fighting, just like moving.
Some of them are being helped by others, but no one is left out completely alone, limping or anything like that. Some of them are being helped by another person for walking, stuff like that.
I'll walk up to audience. Once we're out of the city, we should probably put a couple of those on your cat. That'll probably help speed us up.
Well-
But before we're out of the city, that's probably not a good idea, as that big dude really likes your cat.
I think
Okay.
if we run into the big dude, we're not going to be able to distract him. I think we may have to fight him this time if we run into him. We'll hope, but
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you come out and you look around, there doesn't seem to be anything. Audience, your cat also doesn't tell you that something. When you leave outside, you find yourself, Toby, again, a new surprise. Audience seems to have a horse-size mountain lion that just comes right at him.
I kind of like jump out of the way scared because I guess I'm walking towards it. I just like jump out of the way. I'm like, huh. I look at audience. I'm like, is that yours?
yeah, I can summon a steed now. This is my steed.
Okay, just making sure. I thought it was gonna attack me.
Audience, you get a message in your mind from your mount saying, "Oh man, some of them smells bad." Oh!
Yeah, well, I'll message back. That's probably what happens when you're kept in captivity for months. Actually, I don't even know how long Tobayashi's been there. Like, how long have we since that? Like, 3, 4? I don't know in game time.
I wouldn't know myself.
Yeah, I don't know how long.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Yes. We should go pick up the kid because he's in the house nearby.
Yeah.
I walk up to the machine man. Wait, what's your? Okay, yeah, I walk up to him. I'm like, I didn't get your name before.
Fisher.
Fisher. Okay. So I heard you guys talking about some big guy. What do you mean by that?
There is a big dude somewhere around the city that they seem to refer to as the Brute, and we'd rather not fight him because he can like run through walls and stuff, but not in like the magical way, in the he's huge way. But we're probably gonna have to anyway. So I hope you know how to use that thing. Pointing at the flail thing.
As he says that, I kind of put it behind my back. I'm like, I definitely know how to fight. If that's what you're asking. The man you talk about kind of sounds familiar, but I'd have to see him. But we should definitely try to avoid him at all cost.
Yeah. Looking over the 17-ish additional people that we're trying to sneak through the city. We'll see about that. All right. I gotta go find a kid. And I will go back to the house. I just look at him
weird as he walks away. I'm just like... Man, this group's gotten weird since I left.
I'll walk towards the house I left the kid at.
And you actually haven't seen Fisher's actual adopted kid, so it's gonna get weirder. Okay, so everyone makes a perception and stealth.
Okay.
Well, perception can be for those who are actually acting as lookout as you're walking, but everyone needs to make a stealth.
Oh, shit. Net 20.
15.
Sam gonna roll a net 20 for his first roll again.
Oh. I am gonna say 17. D20s. I don't want to roll that many D20s.
What?
No, my phone's hard to roll dice with. Okay, and then
Oh, yeah.
for my perception. Okay, that's a 23 for perception, 17 for stealth.
20 for perception, 17 for stealth. All right.
Fisher is, as always, being unhelpful. I got a 5 or an 8 with Terranad's help on perception, and then a 9 on stealth.
I mean, 9 for Fisher isn't terrible.
Yeah,
No,
I was gonna say, like, it's not
average.
One or
Yeah.
Why do you keep rolling? Oh my god, my phone is just rolling infinite D20s now. It just wants to... Okay, stop.
No, it's not D20s. It's these D100. I'm seeing them all coming up. 70, 93.
no, it's because he's rolling 8 D20.
Does it keep rolling 20s for no reason? I don't know why. Stop just doing it. Is it voice activated?
I don't know. But you know that if you just press on the square where there is the bonus, you're going to be rolling that specific skill. I just checked it with
the plus.
Anything. It just keeps rolling randomly and automatically. It's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. And yeah, don't worry, Remy. I just verified my hypothesis that if you clicked on the square, but it's because it's your sheet that's in front of me. So that's why you rolled a apparently athletics check. 14. That's not bad.
Considering that Remy's strength is a -2.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So.
It must have been for the barrel.
Yeah. You got pumped up. All right. So, audience, as always, since you have a cat now with you, your perception has been incredibly increased. basically started having decent perception roll. So after getting over the moment that your cat is just, oh man, some of those people really need to take a bath. I'm so happy it's raining outside. It does take a moment, and then he finally says, all right, I can hear people moving about. They're mostly centered around the main alley. So I think if we keep to small alleys or secondary roads, it should be fine. And I'm not hearing a lot of people walk on the floors above. So I guess we could also try and do this. I guess it's the question of, do we take the fast way out or do we take the long way out? The long way being also using the fact that you're in a 3D puzzle maze that you can just go up and down, or you stay on a single level and try to make your way out. Single level is going to be faster but more dangerous.
Yeah. Start with trying to be as quick as possible. Like, I think our audience will kind of like mention that we should go to the side alleys and to stay quiet.
All right. So, anyone has a problem with that?
We picked up the kid, right?
The kid is outside of the portion of the city that's inside the mountain. You left him on the portion of the city that's outside of the mountain.
Oh. I thought he just led us and was like, it's just right down there, and then we went right down there, and that's where the cell was.
He led us to where there is a hole in the mountain, and he said, you just have to keep running down there.
I see. All right.
You said it was raining, right?
Yep.
As it's raining, and I kind of like noticed it was raining, I'm just gonna get the flail end, and I'm gonna just hold it out in the water as it's raining.
Okay.
And then just wait for a response if there is one. If not, it's fine.
Okay. Well, it's gonna take a few minutes because you can figure out that it's raining because you see audience Remy, Fisher, and Onak who are soaking wet. But right now, you're not outside of the portion of the city that's...
Rain. Okay.
It's still the portion of the city that's being excavated from the mountain. So as you're moving about, you're trying to be stealthy. And while some are actually succeeding pretty well, and you just lose sight of them. I didn't roll for... Okay. Some, however, are just being normal, stealthy, not doing a lot of noise. But there are people, just like Fisher, who are basically bumping their toes at the corner of buildings, turning around, and their weapons are just clinging on one another as they're moving about. Everyone turn around. All right. He turns around and... someone turns at that moment, looking behind, say, all right, be careful. And then suddenly he sees a sword just being shoved right in front of his face. Ah! And you hear, just like a cartoon, 5 people just going, shh, shh, shh. Sorry. Put your sword down. As you're making your way through the city, at one point, you find yourself in a smaller alley. It's just maybe 10 feet wide, but it's a long alley, maybe 40 to 50 feet. But once you're engaged in it, you realize that at the end of this alley, there are 3 silhouettes. Most likely guards not moving. And when you realize this, you turn around and say, okay, let's go back. And you see at the other end a larger group. These one seems to be a bit bulkier than those you've encountered so far, just going in front and passing by the alley. They don't seem to have noticed you, but if you were to double back, that might change.
Alright. Audience will mention to the group to kind of stay back, and then he'll mention to Remy and Tobiyashi, because he remembers Tobiyashi being fairly stealthy. And he'll kind of give Fisher a question look like, you can come, but maybe you shouldn't. And then potion that we should go try and take out the 3 guards in front of us, and then the party can continue, like, quietly.
I'm alright with that. Let's go.
Okay. What about...
So we start sneaking?
What about Jorg?
Yeah.
Jordan's not great at hitting on his first try.
No, we all remember the incredible fight.
Voronak and I are gonna hang out with the group.
We all remember that riveting fight inside of the arcane laboratory with a mace that lasted a full minute. But you can heal, actually, so...
Had to be one with a sword, and he lost.
Yeah.
I didn't lose, but someone else came and killed it.
Just stalled out. Strategically stalled out until it turned into a 2v1.
So,
Alrighty.
is Jorg coming with you, or he's staying behind?
It's up to him.
I did roll an @20 on sneak, so I might as well come.
Okay.
But I might use a spell to do damage instead of rely on
Sure.
hitting someone.
And then our 2 stealthy boys gonna stay back and guard the party.
Yeah. I say, alright, we'll be right back, and then I'll start sneaking over there.
Alright, so you're all trying to sneak toward them. It's been a while. You've been walking for several minutes, and you're actually engaging people who are paying attention. So I'd have you all make a new stealth roll as you're trying to create a surprise.
$14.
George got a 15.
26. I don't know what y'all expected.
Fisher, what did you roll?
I'm not going with them.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's
Audience, that was an
My cat-
incredible roll.
My cat messed up. My
Oh
cat.
god.
He's blaming his cat.
Yeah, it was his cat's fault. He rolled wrong. The dice actually fell on the ground. Can I, no?
Alright, so...
Tried to go up a wall and then failed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he sort of climbs just a 5 feet section of wall, and then he realized, oh yeah, there's a roof above my head. I can't get on top of building in this section of the city. So his stealth roll failed miserably. So anyone who rolled above 16 actually manages to get a sneak attack.
Okay, so Raimi.
Yeah.
So Raimi, apparently you get the first shot of this sneak attack.
And then I assume roll for initiative.
We could roll for initiative right now. Just get this out of the way, because I'm pretty sure Raimi can't kill 3 people in a single round.
I mean, he can insta kill. He can insta kill one of them, but I don't think he can insta kill 3 of them.
Not yet,
Yeah.
anyway.
I know.
All right.
Oh my god, what is going on right now? It's a 6.
So for you,
I rolled the
it's-
same thing, a 14.
So you're 14. That's for Tobiyashi.
Jorg got a 17.
Then if I separate from my cat has a 15, but only if I'm separate from my cat. Otherwise, we're at a 6.
Are you riding
Okay.
your cat?
Remy, you got a
I rolled a 10.
10. And so this is where is his stats? Dexterity. Alright. So he's got a 12. And they have a alright. So Remy, go ahead. You notice that two of them seems to have noticed that the group is arriving, but none of them seems to have noticed you. There's a third one that is just currently staring in nothingness. He might actually have been surprised by all this happening, but 2 of them, you are sure they noticed the rest of the group coming.
Exactly how far away are we from them, relatively speaking?
Relatively speaking, I'd say it's roughly 30 feet away. But with your stealth, you can cover the entire distance before the battle starts. I'll let you be on them when the battles, well, anyway, 30 feet. You can get to them actually. So.
Yeah, I just needed a good perspective of how far away. So
30 feet, 10, 20 feet. Yeah, that's good.
maybe just be. Yeah, I'll go ahead and like use the dagger, move about 10 feet, and then specifically on one of the ones that definitely noticed.
Okay.
He is just going to like arc back the good boy and throw it at them.
Okay, go ahead. So Remy takes out a small dagger, which has a very interesting pattern in the way that it's made.
It'll be a 23 to hit. No, not 20 today, guys.
Damn.
Aw.
23 is,
Although
however,
would have been great.
23, however, is very sufficient.
So that's going to be, let's see, 3, 7, 10, 14, 19 piercing damage.
Okay. Okay. Well, that definitely hurts, but it doesn't get him on the ground. All right.
Yeah, just imagine just like maybe just misses the jugular as the dagger just like whizzes by like past the neck, and then as the dagger seems to be like about to go off, like Raimi does like a little whistle, and the dagger like suddenly changes direction back toward, and then he catches it in his hand.
So, throw the dagger, and then suddenly a little whistle, and the dagger comes back to Remy's hand. Or you see one of them who's just got a very annoying gash in his neck, and 2 of them turn around, and they're getting ready. They're ready to start doing this. So, I said that it was. Alright. So, in the initiative roll, we have Jorg with a 17, I believe, would be the first one to go.
Oh, snap. She's gonna huck an ice knife at think the same one Raimi hit.
Throw a brick. Okay, go ahead.
And
I mean,
then
if you just want everybody,
The
to see
epitome
where
of
we
stealth.
are.
yeah. Wait, how loud is the ice knife when it goes off?
No, I was talking about the brick, not the ice knife.
Oh, yeah.
The ice knife is
Okay.
pretty stealthy. You
Cool.
probably just hear it.
I mean, it's probably verbal, right? So you gotta say
Yeah.
something. But after
Oh yeah,
that,
when you
it's-
cast the spell, yeah,
But then
it's a prayer.
but it explodes and hits everyone within 5 feet of it.
Yeah.
yeah, like
But
if you
it's-
threw like a icicle and shattered it on concrete or something, like that's the noise it's making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So...
Ooh, I got not but a oh wait, how do I use this one? Okay, it's
Okay. So
Nice, nice.
make a range.
okay. Oh wow. Okay, I got a 16 actually. That's not bad.
To hit.
Yep.
That is enough.
On level 1. Cool. So then it does 1d10 piercing. Ooh, at 9.
9 points of
And then on
damage.
the-
Okay.
5 feet must roll a dexterity saving throw with a DC of 15 or take 2d6 cold damage.
And the target and those around him. So okay.
Oh
So
yeah.
the target.
Target and each creature.
It's dexterity save, you said?
Yep.
Alright, so the target rolls a 16.
Alright.
And the two others roll a 8 and a 6.
Ooh. So they take 6 damage.
Okay, they take 6 damage. Which means it goes to... Oh. Hold on, we have a small combat. Let's have at least a little
Oh
music.
yeah. Atmosphere.
So that's 26. Okay. Alright, so the spell goes off. The next one would be... well, it depends. Audience, are you letting your cat act alone, or are you acting with him? Hello? Did we lose audience?
Audience?
Let's see.
Where audience?
Okay, it says that he's still in the call. But we can't hear him. Okay, well, audience, if you can hear us, we're gonna assume that you're going at the same time as your cat. So that means it's gonna be Tobiyashi that's gonna be the next one to go.
Okay. So it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
How far away? They're 30 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly run the 30 feet.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to, so he already attacked one, and then there's 2 more, right?
Yeah, one looks severely injured, and the 2
Yep.
others looks just scrapes and bruises.
Have they made any noise already?
No one has tried to raise an alarm yet.
Okay, I'm gonna use the silk around my wrist, and I'm gonna shoot it out and try to grapple with it, like wrapping around his like face area, like mouth and stuff like that.
Okay.
If I can. So I'm gonna use a key point to do that. 1 second.
Can you guys hear me again?
I can hear
Yeah,
you
yeah,
now.
there he is.
Yes. All right, that's the use of 1. So he's like 10 feet away. So yeah, 1, and it has AC. Okay, and then I have to roll for it. Okay.
Yep, roll for the grapple.
I have to roll wisdom.
Yeah, when you use your ribbon, it's your wisdom instead of your strength.
Okay. And I rolled a 4. I'm just not rolling good tonight, guys.
Well, that's actually interesting because they rolled a total of 4 also.
Okay.
Well, usually when you attack, if you get the exact same number, it's going to be the attacker who's going to win. So,
nice.
You
All right,
actually succeed. Barely, but you succeed.
I'm weak. I'm sorry. I've been tortured. Okay, guys, leave me alone. As it's wrapped around, I'm gonna I don't know if I could use a bonus action this way, but can I? Oh yeah. As his mouth is covered, I'm just gonna keep it tight, and I'll walk the rest of the way up to him, and I'm gonna use a bonus action to just knock him upside the head as hard as I can.
Okay.
Yeah. And wait, where's it at? Actions. Yes, there we go. Aha. Ooh. That's an 18 to hit.
So you can use. Hold on. I'm just looking. I believe you can use your attack as a bonus action only if you... Oh, I already have the book here. Why am I doing this? Only if you have attacked. Is that it?
If you're...
You could spend one...
I'm assuming you're using your own subclass, but at least as far as like the base class rules, to use the bonus action attack, you do have to.
You have to attack. Okay. So I guess I won't be doing that.
Well, you can, if you want, use a key point to use Flurry of Blows.
Oh yeah, I can.
You don't have a lot of key points right now, but you can.
I'm gonna use Action Surge, and I'm going to attack him.
All right. Well, that works.
Okay, so that was a 18.
Yeah, that's enough to hit.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hit him, and then 18 damage.
How much damage?
7 points of damage.
Okay. So, you're restraining one, and you're attacking the same or the other? Because 2 of them seems to have reacted to you. One of them is severely injured, and the other one is just slightly injured.
Yeah, I'll hold one, and I'll suck the one who's heavily injured.
Okay.
As hard as I can.
Okay, so you said 7 damage in total?
Yes, 7 damage in total.
Alright. So, you hit him... That's both strike or just one strike of the Flurry of Blows?
I think it was just a regular attack.
Just one attack?
He used Action Surge.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Action
Action Surge. Yeah, that's right.
So,
you don't have
I
several.
could hit him again for a bonus action, I think, but
Well, technically, yeah.
Since you have now taken the attack action,
you can use a bonus action
use
now
a bonus
to hit
action.
the other one.
okay, I'll hit the other one too.
So the one that you just hit actually is enough to take him down. So the one that was really injured on his knees, you just finish him off with one hit. You turn around and you use your bonus
I hit
action.
the other one. Yeah, it's 17 to hit.
That's enough.
All right, and then I'm gonna do damage. That is 6 points of damage.
All right. Not enough to take him down, but he is not liking the fight. And currently you are managing to grapple him in a way to restrain his speech.
Yes.
All right. Well, that is fortunate because... Is that everything you want to do?
Yeah, that's everything.
Okay. So the 2 that were paying attention to you would have sounded the alarm because their initiative was a 12, which was the second one to go, but he's going to try and break your grapple so he can try to sound the alarm. So that's roll for your
Wisdom,
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's your silk.
Yeah. 19.
19, alright. You easily beat him. He rolled a total of 7. So he tries to ungrapple himself to try and remove your silk from above his mouth, and he doesn't succeed. So he doesn't manage to.
I just make it tighter.
He doesn't manage to sound the alarm. He is struggling, trying to break free, and that was his action. Fortunately, the last one is sort of right now realizing his friends are in trouble, so you see this in slow motion, because when you fight, there's often this moment of slow motion when you see him just turn around and realizing you're there. But that's his round, because you got a surprise round on him. Alright,
Nice.
So you have Onak, who is actually from where he is.
Be right back.
Okay. Oh, he's gonna go with Thorn Whip. He just makes it a little bit. He gets closer and whips the one that is mostly uninjured. 16. That is enough to hit. Which means it is. I just lowered the stats. No, I closed. No, I didn't close it. All right. 2d6. And does 6 points of damage on him. All right. So gets closer, gives a good whip to the other one that's just realizing that the fight has started. And this means we go down to Remy. It's your turn again.
Alright, so then the one that was whipped was the one that's not grappled.
Yeah.
So they're now like essentially 10 feet closer.
Yeah, that one is. Yeah, since he managed to whip him, he just managed to pull him closer in the middle of the group.
I guess like maybe just kind of like just looks at his dagger, shrugs, just walks a few extra paces because he was already fairly close to begin with, and just specifically stabs the guy in the neck.
Takes a moment to aim.
Because he's got time. With a 24 to hit.
That is enough.
It's not going anywhere.
The D4 literally jumped out. That's rare. That's going to be 4, 8, 13, 17, 21 piercing damage.
You simply take your knife in slowly, gently, just a little. It's like killing a chicken, and you pull it out, and you see him just go limp. He had 20 hit points left.
I almost kind of want to imagine just like as he's doing it, it's just like.
And he's just
And
holding
he's
you
just
like
heard
this.
that phrase once before, so it's just like, okay. And just like slowly, just like guides the body down to the ground.
All right. So, which means there's only one left, an audience. You and your full might. It is your turn. Audience.
If he's here.
Okay.
Can you hear me or no?
Yes, now
Okay,
I can
there
hear
you
Yeah,
you.
we can.
Okay, cool. Alright, well, audience will... his cat will use pounce.
Okay.
So, it'll run at that guy, pounce on him.
So you see a ball of fur just go.
And which will be So that's gonna be plus 4 to hit. So that's 17 to hit.
That is enough to hit.
That's then d6 plus 4 of damage. Plus 3 actually. So he'll do 5 damage, and then the guy has to succeed a DC 13, I think, strength save.
Failed. On the dice you rolled a 3, so it's 6.
Okay, so then he'll be prone. So then the cat will get 2 attack with advantage. That's going to be another 17 to hit.
Enough?
And then he'll get 2d4 plus 3. 2. Oh, 8 plus 3. So he'll do 11 on his bite.
Jeez. He is almost dead. The poor guy is being torn apart by a cat mauling him. But he is alive. And he's probably trying to scream as he is being held down by Tobiashi's silk.
And then audience roll with advantage with an 18 plus, yeah, that'll hit. And then he will roll for his attack.
Audience, you have a minimum of 5 hit points of damage. He's got 4 hit points. You can roll to see how bad you mutilate him, but...
2d6 plus 5. Nope, I want the 2d6 plus 5. Thank you. I do 10 on my attack, so yeah.
So, you have this gruesome picture of this guy who is struggling to remove silk off of his mouth, and then suddenly you see this ball of fur just jump toward him, push him to the ground, starts mauling him. You just hear muffled screams go, and then you see audience just finishing him off with a single sword strike.
Nice.
Alright, and so silence falls back, and you're relatively sure that no one heard that, as it was a pretty quick, stealthy, mostly, you know, there's one moment where you think, alright, if someone's very near, he might have heard this, but other than that, you're pretty confident that you were quick and stealthy in managing
Alright,
this.
I'll turn back to Fisher and kind of motion for the group to move back on up, that we should keep moving.
Raimi will just say to Tobiyashi, "Remember, Raimi, they can't scream if they don't have a neck."
I just look at him like, okay. I retrieve my ribbon and it's probably stained now from blood, so I'm gonna change it black, and so all the ribbon around me is now black, and so it'll help my stealth and stuff like that.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Was it your natural color or was it black?
It was I'd have to say it was my natural color before.
Okay.
And
so the ribbon was pink.
Yeah, it was pink. And then I just turned it black because it got like super red now.
Well,
so it is now red.
You can also just dismiss it and get it back.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your key
that's
point
true.
back if you dismiss it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll dismiss it.
That's
and then
a pretty efficient way of cleaning it up.
Yeah, and yeah, that's it.
All right. As you react to Remy, you hear Ornak, the living tree, just crossing your path, saying, "Yeah, that's how he talks." He just keeps walking.
Well then, I think we should keep on going. I'm looking around, just checking everywhere, making sure nothing's happening.
Make a perception roll. Tobiyashi, you said you were looking around, so make a perception roll.
Yeah. Okay. I rolled a 10.
That's an average perception roll.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
All right. So, anyone else wants to make a perception roll to add to this?
I mean, because I was hanging back, I'd just like to make sure that the beefier looking dudes aren't heading our direction.
Okay.
Or it didn't
Maybe
seem
we'll
to
also roll.
notice.
Jorg's distracted by the ribbon.
Ready.
My cat will roll with the 15.
That's a low roll for your cat.
I got a 13 or a 16
Okay.
with Taranad.
Raimi gets a 23.
Okay, so on average, it's pretty good. Except Jorg, who is pretty baffled
Got a
by
9,
this.
but it's
He's pretty baffled by the fact that this silk ribbon just seemed to appear in Tobiyashi's hand, extend, reach out, wrap itself around the mouth of the guy, and then once the fight was over, just disappeared in a puff of pink smoke. You're just there. Wow.
that was pretty wild.
Start to keep heading down, I guess.
Audience. That's right. You haven't seen that a lot, but you've seen one other person do something like that. Amiali
Yeah.
is able to do the same thing.
I think I remembered that Tobiyashi and Amiali were the same type of monk. I figured that out before.
You recognize their. Make a. I want to do this so much. Make a investigation roll.
Yep.
Oh,
Does this investigation involve audience just like gently putting his hands on Koyashi's chest area? Just to be
Just like-
sure.
Yeah, that's a 2.
That's a 2. All right.
mm,
Wow, that's it's pretty
Can
familiar.
my cat help with that one too?
What? What did you say?
I was joking. I'm like, can my cat help me with that one too?
Well, it's not perception; it's investigation. So, yeah. But all right. Well, your mind doesn't place pieces of the puzzle. You've seen, yeah, that's right. Before Tobiyashi disappeared, he did show off his ability once. You've never seen it in combat, but you know that he was able to do this, and you've seen Amiali often enough use the same thing. So it's the same monkish way.
Yeah.
All right, so you start moving again. Fisher, as you're moving, you look around and you don't see anyone that seems to be coming. Even after a few minutes, you manage to pull the group far enough that you look back and you actually see people coming in the alley where this happened, and they just take a moment to look and they go away. Because it happened just as you were leaving this alley. You were literally the last one to look. So it might have drawn their attention. Maybe they were doubling back because they heard something, but everything was done fast enough that, all right, they just kept on going. They don't seem to be running after this, so they don't. It doesn't feel like they're trying to give an alarm.
They're just thinking to themselves, it's like, hey, more for us. And moves on.
Split the reward with less people. All right, so you keep on moving, and it takes a few minutes, but you eventually manage to make your way out of the city. The not excavated portion of the city. So you walk a little bit, and then suddenly you see the exit. It's still raining. There's no more thunderstorm outside, but it's still raining. Since we're going to go on break very soon, why not start the rain and let people also enjoy the rain while we're outside. So, it's a good rain, apparently. I was aiming for a small rain, but apparently it's a good rain. So,
When it rains, it's pouring.
so you managed to find your way outside of the not excavated portion of the city, and finally, rain falling on your face. And just as you come out, as you said, Tobiyashi, you take the ball out and you just let the rain slowly drip on it. You get a soothing vibration coming from it, which you know to be something that happens when satiation comes into play.
Okay. I'll just say, they're there now. It should be all good now. We're almost there. And I say that, and I'm just like looking at it, kind of talking to it. just no stealth this time. I'm just doing it out in the open.
All right, then most likely,
Can I do an Arcana check to figure out what it is? Because like,
What?
part of Fisher's like, this dude's just talking to his weapon. That's freaking weird. The other part of Fisher's like, I'm a sentient construct. I've got a separate sentient thing in my chest. I've got his could be sentient.
You start to
But-
look around for screws on Tobiyashi.
lift up your shirt.
Just all metal.
What language are you talking right now with Terranad?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll just be speaking in common.
No,
it's the only...
I mean, Fisher, Terranad is
Oh.
set on what language right now?
Let me check. Construct.
Okay. In that case, well, you can roll an Arcana roll if you want. But in that case, the only one who would perceive something that feels familiar, but not exactly it to understand it, would be Remy. You hear something like a whisper coming out of the ball that Tobiyashi is talking to. There are some elements that reminds you of your elemental language, but it's too different to actually make it out. But it's just a faint whisper that you hear. It lasts for just a few moments.
I got a 13.
13. Well, without looking at it very closely, it's difficult to know exactly what it could be. What it is, actually. But what it could be... of course, you are aware of Sentient Weapon, which could be something like this. A part of a Sentient Weapon. Which means it might be possible to repair it. Maybe that's why you can't hear it. I mean, that's... Or it could just be talking telepathically. You are aware of things which can be added. It could be something that's added to it. A gem which contains a consciousness. As far as you know, this would probably be the most likely possibilities for what you're seeing for this kind of behavior. Of course, there's always the possibility of he's under a curse. I mean, he is walking about with only a piece of weapon, shielding it from other people and acting as if it's talking to him. So there's always the possibility of a curse.
I think I'll just chalk it up to he's weird for now.
I'll just continue walking, not knowing anybody's looking at me. Just walking.
All right.
Yeah, we gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta go.
No time to confront people about their
Weirdness.
Fetishes.
You know, he talks to metal balls. He doesn't talk, he just repeats things. He is a metal ball. And alright, so as you make your way in the city, I'm gonna say we're gonna take our break right now, because that's kind of a good moment. Separate the two. And like I always say, because apparently on average we take 15 minutes, we're gonna be back in exactly 15 minutes. So take a moment to get something to eat, drink, or make room to add something to drink and eat, and we're going to be back in 15 minutes. And if you're just waiting while we're left, well, we're going to leave you with this gentle rain, so you can grow your desire to go pee. See you in 15 minutes. Bye.
Puts on helmet.
Aha! Here, we're back. Sorry if it's been 16 minutes. I'm sorry. I sort of lost count. My fault. But if we're at 15 minutes, then disregard this. We're glad to have you back, and I hope you had a pleasant rain while listening to all of this. And I hope it's not doing the same thing as it does with my mother. She always wants to go pee, or might be because of her old age also. But all right, so let's go right back in. So the party has managed to find its way out of the city, managed to kill a little group of enemy who was in their way, but they managed it without making too much sound, and now they're all back outside. Tobiyashi holding the end half of a flail outside, feeling reassured by the fact that it's vibrating, and talking to the ball. Fisher looking at him with, well, I was gonna say weird eyes, but his eyes are always weird like this, so he's just staring. Jorg, who is just under the rain, finally, you know, it's just been a day, but there was so much grime and people were stinking, and you know, even animals in nature, they groom themselves, but you were in a pit filled with people that don't groom themselves. Granted, most humans can't actually lick certain places, because if they could, they'd never stop, like dogs. But
Well, without help, anyway.
I'm so sorry.
Without
I had a dog before, so I sort of know a little bit what I'm talking about. But yeah, nobody groomed themselves in that cell, so it stank. But for everyone else, audience, oh yeah, that's one thing that I forgot, audience didn't mention, and I forgot to tell. That's a bit different than before. Audience is shirtless now. He just has pants.
Nice. Okay. Shirtless audience.
And you'll notice, just like, you know, as they're going out into the rain, like maybe Rainy was originally looking at you and your small ball, but then his head tilts.
Slightly toward audience.
Yeah. I look at audience, I see that, I'm like, kind of look at, like, my eyes kind of dart back and forth, kind of looking at you, and I kind of like put it underneath my cloak a little bit, and I'm going to keep walking, just speed up my pace.
One thing you realize in this is that Remy is stealing a look at audience, but audience is not stealing a look at Remy. He's just proud of being out, you know. Follow me. Goes into the rain with mace in hand. Alright. So, you get into the city, and since you didn't come out the exact same way you entered, you're gonna need a... Well, I'm gonna leave it to you. Pass it's perception or investigation to find where the kid is, actually.
I'm gonna do perception because my cat can help me with that.
It can smell. Not as
I
good
know
as the
there
dog.
is a kid, I just don't know where to look.
Raimi does a perceive because that's what Raimi does. He looks at things.
So, audience, how much? What did you roll?
Unnatural 20.
Even though
You know what? This will make sense then, because Raimi only rolls an 18, but he probably got a little bit distracted by the wet audience.
heroically climbing on his
The
cat.
wet audience. Yes.
Heroically climbing on his cat.
Nice, nice. Yeah, man.
Well, it's Battle Cat without the armor and
Yeah, Battle Cat.
completely white instead of green and gold.
Battle Dragon.
All right. It doesn't take you very long, especially with a cat. You know, it's not a dog, but still, it's good enough. Managed to pick up the scent of the kid. Yeah, you pick up the scent of, smells like pee. I think he was scared. And it just moves toward where the kid is. It takes maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but you easily find the house where they are. And as soon as you enter, you see the woman just and the kid go and then there is this touching reunion where everyone just enters the room and keeps hugging, and the mother kissing the kid and the kid trying to push away the mother trying to kiss him, but
Also, for safety reasons, as the mother was coming forward, Raimi just kind of like sleight of hands with the mage hand, the dagger out of the kid's hands.
super.
Almost like maybe Raimi has been in this exact same situation.
Oh no! Oh mom!
That's it. That's the tragic backstory.
Yep.
Kid's gonna end up as a rogue when she's looking like, we gotta try and prevent the tragic backstory in any way possible. I know what's gonna happen, but we can try and prevent it.
Yeah. All right.
Delay it to the point where he's emotionally stable enough to deal with the trauma.
How to kill a kid from the inside out. Alright, so you have a touching reunion moment, and then you look toward the city and realize that you got at least an hour of walk. That was when you got inside this city. Now you're doing an hour of walk with a group of 20 people. Basically, you're a tourist guide. And then you have an hour of walk on an open field. How are you planning on escaping the watchful eyes of your enemies? Because you've been away for 15, well, considering the time that you took also for looking around, finding all of your weapons. When you broke in the prison cell, it's been nearly half an hour. Someone is bound to have noticed that there's 20 prisoners missing.
Remy, how much can you cover with like an illusionary rock or something?
That moves. A moving rock.
I mean, we could stop while we thought people were looking.
Mm.
I just fight people. That's,
I'm
I
just
can't
trying
do
to
much
get out of
until
here.
they spot us and start attacking.
Dude, how many torches do we have? Also, it's raining, so maybe not.
Wait, we have that lantern.
You have light spells.
That is
Oh,
what
yeah.
I would say is if we can get into the open field, like at least there's a which means their visibility isn't going to be great. So once we can get like probably a few hundred yards from the city, they honestly probably won't even be able to see us that well, even if we are.
Yeah. Except the wolves will come out of the shadows and take us back.
Well,
Yeah,
not
but
if
it's not night yet.
monastery before it gets dark.
Yeah, the wolves don't come out until it's night.
Yeah.
Those don't come out until it's night.
Isn't part of the problem that it's gonna be night because we're moving everyone back to the monastery
Well,
and it's kind of midday.
We've been really efficient on time so far. Like we haven't
Yeah.
really lost any time. So
right
What if
now,
someone's following us?
right now, you'd estimate that you made really good time getting to the prison cell where Jorg was. So instead of taking 4 hours, you maybe took 2 hours and a half. But going back with a group of 20 people and trying not to get noticed, you're really glad you got this hour and a half to spare.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, once we're in the field and a little bit away from the city, I say we just start booking it. But
Looking for a little bit.
yeah,
I think when we're in the city, we probably just stick to like one of the walls, just cut down on the chances at all, like the least chances, and then just basically move as stealthily as possible. Take out any more guards like we did before that we come across, and and then once we're in the field, basically just kind of try and book it.
Okay. I'm following
I mean,
you guys. I have no idea.
sticking to
how
the
get out of
walls
here.
would be like the long way, right? Because we'd have to like circle around.
Well, it depends on which walls, but there's also the risk that
Also, guards are on walls.
Well,
that's
yeah,
where
and
guards
it's-
are.
city
it's-
walls aren't just like around.
okay. So let's say that
Use the map is and just kind of hope.
so let's say that the city is oriented north is the exit that leads to the monastery. The southern section of the city would connect with the mountain. It's where there are different hallways where people go to slowly excavate the city to make a city for the humans. If you go out that wall, if you go through, following that wall, it's the shortest way out, but you'll be passing in front of several passages leading inside the mountains. If you take the other way, if you go to the southern, not the southern, western is where the wall would be, where the excavated city would be. If you go south instead, that would be the very, very long way out. But the advantage is that you know part of that way because it's the way that you took when you entered the city. And you're going to be away from prying eyes, or you think. But it's the very long way.
And it's also the way we took with the caravans, right? And we
Yeah.
didn't see any guards on walls there.
But you had your cat
I say
to distract the brute
Yeah.
from...
I think because we made such good time, we should just probably take the southern way, because it won't be too much longer, and we know kind of like where to avoid. Like we know just to avoid that one square, middle square. But like besides that, we also we know that there aren't that many guards that walk that area, and it's the furthest from the construction. So we can probably also move quicker if we go along the southern way. Like we don't need to move as stealthily, so it might actually end up being around the same amount of time.
Wherever you say, I'm going. My character has no objection to it. He doesn't even know where the heck he's going.
I'm putting that also to Fisher. And I guess probably Fisher and Remy more, because they kind of came in with me, like George.
When we came in today, which direction did we come in from?
The middle of the city. You went straight down the middle, and then you took a right toward the mountainside.
I kind of feel like we should just do that.
Just go straight down the middle.
That's what we did last time, and we didn't run into...
That was with me scouting ahead with my cat, though.
And the cat acting as distraction for the group.
Well, that was after we...
Well, we could avoid the town square. We know where the town square is. We can avoid it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down to scout ahead. If you want to go down the middle and just keep and like try and find a safe way through.
Let's go around.
Let's go the southern.
Yeah.
Okay.
The long and safer way it is.
Let's go.
I think we can afford the safer way because of how good of a time we've made.
Alright. So, you start going. I'd say for those of you who want to be the eyes of the group around, see if you get notice, or you can do a perception roll. But since you're
20.
Jorg wants to cast guidance on the ones doing perception rolls.
Oh, so is that plus a d4?
Yeah.
You can only cast it on one.
Oh.
Well, cast it on
Right.
the
I
cat,
was
you know.
thinking Yeah.
I'll do-
You'll cast it. Oh, the cat's actually a good point.
Yeah, the cat is always an option.
Just gonna put guidance on the cat then,
Alright.
because
Oh, I guess I'm
he's gonna
adding...
confirm with you that the cat is the one doing most of this.
Yeah. No, then I guess it's a 24 for me.
Yeah, I got an 8. I'm not really perceiving too good today.
It's just because it's new terrain, you know.
Yeah.
It's raining, it's the middle of a city, you've never seen the city, it's really not the way that you took to get inside.
I mean,
Kind of
Our-
withered.
our audience and the cat watching more the front or the back?
Audience would probably take the front. Because he was also like the front when we came through here with the caravan, and because he rolled a nat 20, I assume he just knows this this route is somehow great if it's mine.
All right, then Raimi will watch your rear.
Jorg will watch.
Both figuratively and
Oh, no.
literally.
Yes.
So Raimi will be watching with a 19.
Okay. So you are actually watching the rear of the group, not just audience's rear.
Yes.
Alright. So, you start moving inside the city. The rain is not letting up. It feels nice for those of you who haven't had time to bathe, and for Tobiyashi it's been several weeks. You've
But
most
also masking their smell, which for trying to hide from a wolf cult is probably a good thing.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Raimi's just wondering he's not going to be able to wear his coat for like 3 days.
So, you start.
I'm enjoying the rain.
Yeah, feels good. And your metal ball is
Washing
enjoying
my
it
face
too.
a little bit. Yeah, it's enjoying the rain too. Yeah.
Alright. You can actually say that Tobiyashi has at least one ball of steel. So, sorry, I'm so sorry for this
One
one.
ball of steel. I love it.
Okay, so you keep walking in the city, and for a good while, you don't see anything. It looks quiet, feels quiet. Those of you who are distracted by the rain, by the terrain, by, oh, Will, that's so weird. I'm walking with a group that is so weird. Jorg, you're tired. You managed to have a long rest in the night that you spent in there, but just barely the long rest. Really wasn't a comfortable stay.
I
And
went and prepped some stuff for
Yeah.
a longer stay.
it takes about half an hour until you start noticing elements that feels familiar for you audience specifically as you're walking. That's when you sort of realize that you're being watched by Naifa. She's just looking at your group walking from the top of one building. Her hands are on her hips, just looking at you, shaking her head slightly.
I want to give her a wave. Like, what's up? We're doing our thing.
You got some input. We could use some help.
Don't worry about us. We're just
Tobiyashi,
Make-
you've never seen Naifa. She's definitely a monk. She has wrappings on her arms and legs, but she's wearing a black leather jacket. She has just above shoulder length black hair. But you do see a little bit of an ear sticking out, so she might be half elf or full elf. You're not sure. But she's looking at the group like this, and when audiences wave, she sort of have this half facepalm moment where she just, you know, you're making a whole lot of noise as you're walking to the city. I could hear you from easily 5 blocks away.
I
I
just
you.
point behind him like, what do you expect?
Well, I've been doing my best to keep out of trouble and to not be noticed, but I don't think I'll be able to keep on doing this with you moving about with such a big group. The good news is, if you want, I can try and help you a little bit. The bad news is, and she turns around and points at the tallest building of the city, and you see this large silhouette above the building. You recognize this as being someone very, very wide-shouldered. And Tobiyashi, you have this cold shiver that crawls from down your spine when you hear, I know you're there! Dave warned me! I'm gonna find you! I heard there's a bird with you! Maybe I'll be eating some chicken tonight!
I am now
Maybe his
behind.
eye twitches when he hears bird.
Audience is gonna use this moment to be like, so we're switching to just pure speed at this point, right?
I'm now behind
Yeah.
Fisher. Without him noticing, I'm just kind of like hiding. And looking off at the silhouette. Just kind of behind him.
Tobiyashi seems to have this reflex moment of hiding. Now!
Yeah, I say we start going, and then Nathan, when he gets here, probably you guide the people out, and we will either slow him down and catch up, or take him out and catch up.
Okay, after you.
Well, I'm not gonna argue with you volunteering to act as diversion if we're found out. I'd much rather get those people to safety than have to face him. But, hey, it's fine with me.
Audience will just say, he looks weak. We got this.
Alright.
I'm a little bit more sketched out now than I usually am. Looking around like 10 times more. Just looking around. I'll go to audience as we're walking, and I'll say, that has to be who I think it is.
We think he's the brute, or that's all we know about him. We just have heard of him as the brute. By the way, we're no longer walking. We've got brisk jog.
Brisk jog. Okay, so we're like jogging. Okay, well I'm jogging behind you. I'm like, well, his name is Ranzil. He's not such a good guy, and I'm just gonna keep on running. I kind of speed up my pace now.
How do you know him?
Are you asking me that in game?
Yeah.
He was kind of part of where I was at for a couple weeks. I've seen him once or twice. I didn't go there without learning anything. And I kind of...
Any weaknesses? Strengths? I mean, strength is, I assume he's just big and strong and fast.
I've never fought him, and I don't know what he is, but, he usually likes to, like, make people suffer, and that's about the extent of what I know.
Randy,
I've always
ahead of
hidden
you
whenever
all-
I've seen him.
Randy,
Well,
ahead of you all
sounds
minor
like
illusions,
they
this
must have
brute
taken out
crashes
then.
into a wall.
Alright, so as you're moving into the second part of the so you're moving as fast as you can without... Alright. So for the first... Oh, are you still going side wall, wall side, or are you trying to run down the middle?
No, I think once
Yeah.
the brute saw us, I was like, we're not. There's
Yeah.
we just want to get out now as quickly as possible.
Trying to go down the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're just go.
Booking it.
Alright.
If we can be heard from 5 blocks away, skirting around the outside is not.
There's no point. We're just
Yeah.
Alright. So you start moving faster, and you see some people struggling, but the adrenaline is helping them manage their clumsy stumbling in the city, trying to keep up with you. Of course, Arunak is slowly falling behind, but you give him a few moments to catch up. At least I would hope so.
so he will be our distraction.
Randy is going to be the one, apparently, to make sure that Olenek is okay. Apparently.
Okay.
Audience, this would be a good time to use your cat.
I'm running.
I think he's
We've
gonna.
got some stragglers.
I mean, I'll use my cat once I actually know he's like.
No,
Like-
not to distract him. To speed people, put people on your cat's back so they aren't slowing us down.
Oh. I mean, I don't think that's gonna, because it's only gonna be. I don't think there's gonna be. I'm gonna be able to get enough people on my cat's back that will actually be helping us not slow us down.
You can probably fit maybe the 2, maybe 3 slowest persons on your cat. That's it.
I don't think it's gonna speed us up that much.
Alright.
Uh,
So you start trying to move in the city as fast as you can. And for the first 10 minutes, you hear damage in the buildings, but they're far away. After the 20-minute mark, where you're suddenly reaching what you believe would be near the center of the city, you start hearing buildings crashing down but they're getting closer. And you are starting to hear from time to time just the I know you've been here.
Is Naifa with us?
Yes, she's running from the top of the building.
All right, I'll be like, I'll turn to the rest of the group and I'll be like, I don't think we're gonna be able to fully make it out of the city before the brute reaches us. I'll kind of turn to the others. We'll try and hold him off, and then I'll look up to Naifa. Follow Naifa. She can get you to the monastery safely. Don't wait up for us. We'll either be with you or not.
Right.
Audience, open your storage space.
I opened my storage space.
I grab one of the bricks.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I kind of look at them running away, and I double think. I'm like, oh, I really want to run. And then I look at the rest of them. He grabs the brick. I'm like, I just stand there, don't do anything. See what happens next.
I don't think we're stopping yet. We're still running. We're just like...
Wait,
Yeah.
you open the door that fast?
Well, I mean, open it, close it again, keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Open it while running.
Let's just say
I don't
that the time it takes to open the gate, go inside and get it out, people have just been going ahead. You can still see the group. They're
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
100 feet ahead. That's it. So
Alright.
as soon as this happened, you heard Naifa just go, all right, well, I'm going to keep them going and make sure that they reach the monastery. I'm hoping that one of you has a way to stay safe during the night, because if you're acting as diversion, I'd recommend maybe trying to lead him away a bit and just not going for a heads-on fight. If you can't camp out somewhere, it would allow you to, and she looks at Tobiyashi and audience, who looks slightly winded from all of the divine smite he used. It might give you a chance to make sure you're in the right shape when he catches up.
Okay.
There's no chance we lose this guy for the next 10 hours.
Yeah, I think he's like, 5 minutes behind us at this point? I don't think...
Just need to take a short rest.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what she means. If you want to not just wait for him, but try to lead him away, you could
Mm-hmm.
put the dome somewhere. Be safe for the necessary amount of time to take a long rest.
Or we could put the dome down, set the bricks outside of it, bait him up to the dome, and then set off the bricks. Maybe one-shotting him. Blow up the
I
entire...
pulled one brick out,
Yeah?
not both.
I don't even know what the dome is.
But I feel like trying to use the dome is not gonna work out great,
Well, that's really
knowing
up to
how
you.
the dome works and the fact that it can be dispelled.
Well, that's really
What
up to
I-
you, but I have a group of 17 people. No, 18 people. No, 19 people. I have a kid now. There's 19 people that I have to get to a monastery, so try and stay alive. Remember all of your options. That's the best way of staying alive. And hopefully we'll see you before nightfall or tomorrow. And she
Yeah.
ushers everyone
Right.
out. So you get inside, you take the brick out, and you see them just slowly distancing you.
Well, we could do it because I can desummon the cat, and we know he wants the cat, is we could put the cat in the middle with the bombs underneath the cat, and then shoot the bombs, and as we shoot the bombs, I can desummon the cat.
Or you
So
can
the-
just, re-summon the cat afterwards.
And then, yeah, resummon the cat afterwards, so it wouldn't really, and then just like, and then blow up the bombs, just basically be on the roofs around wherever the cat is. And because we know kind of now how big the radius of the bombs are. And just be outside the radius and blow it up on him.
We're not using both bombs.
Okay, we can use one bomb.
We're
The
gonna
one
use
bomb-
one bomb.
Get him enough that we could probably take him out.
And if somehow he survives the one bomb, we should be able to take him out from there.
We
but
should.
if we need to either set it up very good or yeah.
Well, we could set it up here. I mean, this is like, are we in a fairly open area or no?
20 minutes, you'd be almost near a town center, so you'd probably be able within 5 or 6 minutes to get to a very open place.
So let's go to the town center and then let's try the trick with my cat and see if he goes for it. And just be all up around the buildings and all of us can like, audience, I could like grab a bow and we can all basically shoot at the bomb to give us the highest chance of hitting it while he's next to it.
It has to be cold to set it off, so it's all up to Jorg.
Oh, it has to be cold?
Yes.
Well, Jorg, don't miss.
Also, yeah, Jorg's range is barely above that of the radius.
Okay, well, Jorg could be a little bit closer.
So,
Alright, let's go to let's try and make it to the town center and at least set it up. And then, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're headed to the town center as quick as possible.
I reluctantly follow everybody.
What the hell are those people?
They're like, what is this? They're trying to set off like bombs. Like, what is happening?
I'm thinking in my head, I'm just like, I should have ran with the other people.
With the monk, that's just leaving.
Yeah, the monk, that was, yeah, I should have just followed
Alright,
them.
so you go ahead and
That's together.
you just came back in time for your character to die with everyone
Yeah.
else. Alright, so you make your
Let's
way
go.
to the town center, and easy enough, the main town square is completely empty. There's a few overturned carts, a few benches that have been destroyed. There's this well at the center, a rather large one. Well, actually, it's probably big enough to be a fountain and not just a well. Let's go with fountain. It's more theatrical. So, there's this large fountain that's full because it's been raining for several hours. You arrive there, and how do you place everything? How do you bait this moment? Because of course,
I mean,
as soon as you as soon as you give that plan to your cat, he sort of looks at you in a, yeah, you know that it's still gonna hurt.
no, because I'm gonna desummon him before the bomb goes off.
Uh-huh.
I'm basically gonna tell the
Bait and
cat
switch.
put the bomb like in the center, and then have the cat literally lie on top of it, so it can't see the bomb under the cat.
Or have the
Better
cat
idea, because
eat
that
the bomb.
screams suspicious.
Yeah.
Raimi, you can make an illusion to cover the brick, right? So it's just like a rock or a bucket or something. Or
Maybe
even
not.
just a slightly higher, slate. And then
You hear a building
cat-
falling from maybe 3 blocks away.
I'm
cat finds him first and then brings it to the bomb, and then you desummon it when he gets there, and
All right.
cat runs over the bomb. He runs on
You know
top
what
of the bomb.
It's
Cat
not
goes
gonna
away.
work. I hope your aim's on point. Everyone else, take a position around the town center.
Yep.
Out of the
And
reach.
break.
like we're hiding? Okay. I run and go hide.
I put the brick down in, just in the town's center
All
on the
right.
ground. And
As soon as I get behind like a door or something, I'd say like I'm looking through a window and like looking back down at my weapon. I'm like, I might need your help here. Just if you can, help me if you can. And I'm just kind of like panicking and kind of like shaking as I'm looking at the window.
Audience will go help him. Audience can be with Toby. We can.
So,
I will also tell the cat to go find the brute and basically tell him to lead him to the
All
bomb.
right, so are you all hiding in the same building? Or are you all
No,
taking-
Raimi, the minute that he sees the nervous narc over there, he picks a different building to hide in.
Okay.
Jorg wants to hide with Fisher.
Okay. Yeah, we've got to be close.
All right.
Whatever
So
building is
basically,
closest
you're
to Rick.
hiding in 3 buildings. There's Remy in one, Jorg and Fisher in another one, and Tobiyashi and Audience in the last one. So, so that there are 2 people in every building, Olenak is going to go with Remy.
Okay.
All right. So I'll make a stealth roll. I'm not going to give you advantage because you have time to prepare and to actually you have a good hiding place.
Okay.
Did I get a confirmation for my bullet,
Shit.
or did it just not do anything?
You get a anxiety reaction.
Oh, gosh, I don't need us both to be panicking.
Yeah, there's a reason why Raimi decided to go to a different building.
So stealth, right? Oh no.
That should be a 15
Okay.
for audience.
Okay.
Did you say advantage?
Yeah,
Oh, good. Oh, whew. Jeez. I went from a 4 to a 19.
I got a 22.
Okay, that's good.
Don't worry, guys. I don't get advantage. I just get whatever this die ends up being.
Let's go.
All right. So you all go at the center of this place, and don't worry, don't worry, Fisher. I remember that you're leaving in 3 minutes. So you all gather around, and you see the cat and the bomb that's right under it. The cat. Does the cat?
cat went to go get the brute
Okay.
and then lead it
So in that.
less
Yeah.
suspicious.
Okay, so in that
And
case,
then-
you see the block right at the center of town, the town square, and
Well, it's covered by a bucket, right? Or Remy was going to cover it with something. An illusion.
an illusion. All right, so you see the
Yeah,
illusion.
make it look like a shiny diamond.
You see the illusion above the brick.
A shiny diamond, yeah, that doesn't seem like bait at all.
Yeah.
So you see the illusion on top of the brick, and then suddenly you see the cat just running toward the town center in a bit of a panic, and he goes just a little past it so that the creature moves toward him. You see him slowly arriving. You see Ranzil arriving very that's almost aroused by this chase to get the cat. And when he arrives, you see him just there with his short sword that has a chain on it. And he arrives at town square and looks around. All right. We're gonna be eating some cats tonight. Yeah. Takes a deep breath. Closes eyes. He lets the chain loose from his short sword. Starts playing with it like a lasso above his head. And he throws it toward the cat, 60 feet away from the cat.
I guess the cat can try and dodge.
Well, I rolled so low, it's 12 to hit.
I don't think that hits. I think he has a 13 AC.
So you see the sword go toward the cat. He just moves slightly. You get the short sword that hits the ground, stays there for a while, and you're fast, huh? he gives a wave to the chain, and you see the chain just adopting the wave and start to. Your cat would have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, he can do that. That's gonna
I
be
gotta head out.
second
That's
roll
right.
for me.
It's almost done anyway.
Yeah.
Bye.
That should be a 12.
12. Unfortunately, 12 is not enough. Where's a photo for him? Oh, okay. Alright.
I think. Yeah, it should be 12.
What is... I lost the folder for that? Okay. So, no, 12 is not enough. I was trying to find where the photo for Fisher is, but he seems to have just removed. And OBS is acting weird. I don't want to make it crash. Alright. So, you see the wave of the chain starts moving slightly toward the right and wraps around your cat, and immediately you see the chain go red hot, and you hear inside your mind your cat letting out a scream of pain.
How much damage does it take?
"16 points of fire damage."
Ow. Alright. Well, I guess I've got to tell my cat to just bear it, because I need him to walk towards the bomb. I'll be like, I'll pay you back later. You need to just hold your ground and bear, like you can't move. Which basically he can't, because he just took more, he doesn't have to appear wounded. He's below half health.
Okay.
And basically, try and look tempting enough that the guy comes over to you.
Okay. Well, in response, he just bears it, but you see Ranzil starting to pull on the chain hard enough that you see the sword slowly starting to undo itself from the ground. And it's a tug of war. So it's your cat. Well,
Yeah.
it's a grapple war. So
I'm also going to tell my cat, if he loses the grapple, to pretend to be scrabbling and try and grab the brick/bucket with its claws as it's pulled towards.
okay. Okay. So
Because I assume it's going to lose. But although that was
Loading will
actually
hurt less
a
than fire
19.
chain,
19.
or at least shorter.
Okay. That's pretty good for this part. Actually, he managed to barely hold his ground. He digs his claw deep inside the pavement, and he tries to resist. He rolled an 18 for this grapple, so he is barely managing to prevent from being pulled toward him. Since he's doing that, he's not taking damage, heat damage. It's an action. Technically, it's a legendary action, but so it goes to a second. Unless your cat wants to do something, this was more of a reaction to prevent from being pulled in.
I mean, my cat will probably try and get out of the chain.
All right. Well, go ahead.
So was that another dex save?
Dex or strength. You're trying to get out of a grapple.
That's gonna be that should be a 12 again, so no. He doesn't get out.
No. He rolled, I think, a total of 24. So no, he doesn't manage to break out. So the round goes again to the brute trying to pull your cats in. And you just hear him, "Oh, come on, don't fight it. It's not gonna hurt too long." And he keeps pulling on the chain. Make a resist grapple.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna. My cat's being pulled in. That's gonna be a 4.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna beat him because I rolled a 1 and a 2, so he has advantage on these rolls. But
It's not. At least it's not a massive pull. Cat can somewhat hold up.
yeah, so you see your cat slowly starting to move toward him. He's not able to hold it. And you hear Ranzel just go, "Yeah, come on, get closer. I wonder where your master is."
Is it the cat's turn again?
Yep.
All right, we're switching tacks. The cat is gonna run, turn, and pick up the bomb with its mouth and run towards the creature.
All right, so make a, I'd say, dexterity acrobatic if you have it, to sort of do the maneuver of grabbing this and turning around and going toward it.
Because he's already being pulled, so the guy
Yeah.
will basically just pull him in, so he doesn't need. But we'll grab the bomb. Okay, so that's gonna be acrobatics. That's skills. Acrobatics. Oh, why did it do that? Oh, Dre left.
Yeah.
Acrobatics. That's gonna be a 15.
15. I'd say
Four-
that's enough.
No, 14. Could be a 14.
I'd say that's enough. Okay, how about we do this? Haha. All right. All right. Yeah. So he managed to turn around in single motion, grab the bomb, and turn around to run toward toward Ranzo.
Yep. And if it was a bonus, I don't know if it was a bonus action or an action to grab the bomb, but he'll actually use dash if it wasn't, and just to like basically get up to Ransel.
Well, since
in one.
since it was a skill, I'd say it's going to be an action.
Okay. So you will move. Still fit. Actually, you can still get within 10 feet, which is close enough to do the bomb.
All right.
Once he's in 10 feet.
Yeah. So just hit your shot, Jorg.
Yeah, Jorg's gonna throw his ice knife.
You're
I mean, I don't know why
Fuck.
you guys think this will miss, because the piercing damage isn't the main goal. The cold damage is.
Yeah. So 11. But then it explodes, hopefully. Hopefully it's close enough.
Well, what I'd say is it depends on the rolls, being as the cat is holding this in his mouth. So it
Yeah.
could shield the bomb from the explosion.
Actually, I was gonna desummon the cat as it got within 10 feet. So basically, the thing would drop.
Okay, well, you haven't taken your action, so you can certainly do that.
Yeah. So audience is gonna desummon his cat as it gets within 10 feet. The bomb's basically gonna land on the ground in front of the creature, and then Jorg's gonna shoot it with it.
Okay. So, Jorg, you don't have to worry about hitting the cat. As you start casting, you see the cat just go, and you see the brick just go. It's about maybe 15 feet in front of Raznil. So it's
Right.
you're right. It's a saving throw for an immobile object.
Does it still work like that?
Well, it's basically
enough.
it sort of gives the object disadvantage. It's not moving actually. It's sort of the I'm aiming. So roughly, as long as I don't roll natural 20, it's it's gonna go off.
Cool.
So
Glad I got it close enough.
You fire the ice bolt toward the brick, and suddenly you hear the brick explode. How much did I say? 10 D 10 or 12?
I don't remember the stats.
Hold on. I believe fish.
It was a combination of 2 damage types.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was the same dice. It was half and half.
I think I want to say 12 then because it was like 6, but maybe not. I don't know.
No, I remember the number of dice. I'm just not sure the type of dice, if it's D10 or D12.
Do we have information anywhere?
Inventory, feature, description, other possession, rabbit's foot, that's not gonna help. Potion of healing, acid. Alright. There he is. What? Okay, he just... Okay, no, that's not it. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna go with something and I'm gonna figure this out afterward. Where are my dice? So I think that solved the question of which dice it is, because I don't have enough of one type of dice.
Alright. See those 12s. 10s. I don't know what he's rolling.
Um, 10. Here we go. Alright.
By the way, guys, I'm just letting you know if this goes off and the smoke clears and Raz is still standing and doesn't even look injured, we're just running. You can't do that much.
I'll be the first one out of here.
Yeah, if that's not even half his health, we're not beating him, so we gotta leave.
So, the brick goes off. Tobiashi, you've never actually heard that brick go off. It goes from, oh shit, he's screaming and he's gonna... And then you just hear the explosion. The shockwave is strong enough to blow out every window and door in that town square. The front of the buildings where Raznil was have been pulverized. You can see inside the buildings. There is a small crater where the bomb that starts where the bomb was and that pushes away for 50 feet. All you can hear is beep. You've got audience right next to you and you know he talks loud, but even so, when you look at him, you see his mouth moving and you can only hear beep.
I'm just like,
By the way, we all now have the disease tinnitus.
oh no.
God.
Shrapnel of stone went flying in every single directions. The doors, even on the other side of the town square, are all marked with impact of stone shards. The fountain is no more. It is just rubble and water on the floor. When the dust starts to settle, you sort of have a moment of we did it! Because Raznil is not in the center of the explosion. But then even through the beep that you're hearing, You manage to hear, but it's very faint. You bastard! That was a nice move. Fortunately, I didn't like it. You see Raznil stepping forward from the debris. He looks injured. There is blood pouring out of him. He has just taken 63 fire and thunderous damage. I'll admit I wasn't prepared for that. Where are you? I saw that bolt streaking out from a building. He's injured. Technically,
Alright.
he is at lower than 50%.
Time for us to fight him, guys.
Easy. He's injured.
Although I think we're gonna probably end up doing that next session.
Yeah, we're probably gonna start next session with this fight because Fisher is missing right now.
Meanwhile, Rainey is just sitting like very comfortably in his cubby hole with a 29 stealth.
You're convinced that you're really well hidden because all you can hear is beep. You know, nobody can probably hear you even if you start screaming.
That's okay, because the audience is gonna take the opposite approach and step from his doorway. And just kind of
Although
point. Just point to Razio like, you, me. Let's go.
Although
Get it
incidentally,
on.
how does Onak look, by the way? Just like maybe just turns his head.
You see him just looking at you going... And he starts turning around and going outside. He looks pumped.
I watch the audience walk out the door, and I'm just kind of like still in shock of what's happening. I'm just looking out the window to see what happens next.
There's no more
Oh,
window.
Well, yeah, window hole.
But you see...
There's a hole where a window used to be.
You
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
see audience leaving out, and as you look inside of this town square, you also see the living tree coming out of another building, and looks like he's pumped. Come on, audience! You can't hear him, but you see his attitude. He sort of, and he starts casting.
Yeah, we're ready. I'm ready for the showdown. Let's go.
All right,
Gosh.
so this is where we end the show for tonight. So if you want to know how this battle ends, you're gonna have to tune in next week. So be there. But meanwhile, I hope you had a pleasant evening. I hope you are going to be back next week. I hope you're going to be bringing friends next week, because that's always fun. Enjoying this with a friend. It's always fun talking in the chat. You know, not just the players, also you. It's fun. And, well, as always, thank you for Chaotic Calling. I noticed that they joined us. And that's gonna be it for tonight. If you're watching next Friday, the rebroadcast, I don't know. If Chaotic Calling is still up when the stream ends, maybe we're gonna try and raid them. So if you're watching this on Friday, stay tuned. I'm going for the first time to try and raid another channel. Might go well, might not go well. I don't know. But if you're watching us right now on Wednesday when the show is live and nobody knows what exactly is going to happen, well, I hope you had a pleasant evening. I hope you're going to be back next week. As always, if you enjoyed the show, you can support us by following us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also support us by making a donation, becoming a Patreon. And because we're now affiliate, you can also support us by subscribing and giving bits. And as always, you can support us simply by spreading the word of this channel. Because would be fun to have a lot of people talking in the chat. People that I don't know. So, as always, stay safe, and as long as these weird times we're having when we're living next door to a, not literally, I don't mean to say that your neighbor is the problem, and it's a metaphor, but that we're living next door to a virus, stay healthy. Bye.
Janae.
Bye.